Let's do a demo of the LTS771 from Star. So we've got a light control section on the bottom here, 3-position slide switch, 6 rocker switches. All the outputs can control up to 20 amps. Then on the top here we have our Siren control section, and this is pretty much the same functionality as a SS700. If you're familiar with the new SS700, it even has the same connector on the back here. Same pinout and everything. So we've got standard functions: whale, yelp, phaser, hands-free, which is going to cycle through the different tones. If you have it hooked up to your steering wheel, you go whale, yelp, phaser, off. So then we got manual, which is going to be a ramp up and ramp down afterwards. Got alert, which is going to just be a ramp up, and then your radio repeat. You have a microphone which is located on the rear of this, is the plug for it anyways. That way if you don't use the microphone very often, you can locate it that's on the side of your console, or maybe inside your glove box, something like that. A little more convenient if you're not using it all that often, which seems to be more and more popular. So we've got a detachable microphone here. So we can do this with one hand. So 3-plug connection there. And the way you're going to get it out of the box is you're going to have these loose ends here, so you can feed this through a hole that you drill in a console or whatever, wherever you're going to mount this plug. Then you just feed that right through there. You're going to take this little nut, tighten it up on the back there, and then this little end here is going to stick out. And then if you want to use this all the time, you can leave it plugged in. Otherwise, you can leave this stuck in your glove box, something like that. Pull it out when you want to use it. And this plugs into a connector on the back of the Siren here. It, of course, is a mating white connector that you have to plug these pins into. And of course, it doesn't ship with that on there because you need to feed this through a little hole that you drill where you're going to mount it. You look in the back here, there is a programming section, just like the 700 has, where you can select the polarity of the aux and part kill. You can also change the tones, so if you didn't want whale, got a whole bunch of tones here. Back to normal. You can program that for any of the different tones. So you can see your lighting wires for the rocker switches come out on flying leads in the back. And then your slide switch here has a terminal block that you can plug your wires into. If you're just going to use, there's power wires that come out of these rocker switches. Each one has to have its own power. If you're going to be using really low current, what you can do is kind of feed these into, there's 3 tied together terminals for the input power on the slide switch. That's designed if you're using 20 amps each, you're going to need all that. But if you're just driving a logic level, a couple milliamps for a light bar or something like that, you can just tie all the powers right into here and then come out with one power, and that'll power all your switches, and you don't need to use any crimps or anything like that. But then there's the outputs for the slide switch. Everything's labeled right on here, as you can see. As far as the lighting goes here, we can go slide switch 1, 2, 3. Turns on whale tone in 3. That's programmable, and you can also make it so this is not progressive. The rocker switches, pretty much just standard on-off. There's no programmability with this rocker switches. One thing to note is that these are all LED rocker switches, so the bulb's not going to fail. Switches here. So I'm going to make it so it's not progressive. Each one of these switches controls one of those functions. So I'll take this. Not progressive. 1, 2, 3. It's all combinations you can come up with using those dip switches. But let's see, I'll put that back to progressive again. And then I am going to turn off the audible tone in slide switch 3. So now you can see I've flipped it over to 3 and no audible tone. Or perhaps I want an audible tone in positions 2 and 3. 2. 1 turns it off. So the last dip switch here is going to control the backlighting on the Siren. So if you want the backlighting to come on when you have your dash lights or something on, you're going to leave it in the factory default setting, which is up. And then you're just going to tie that wire in with your dash lights. And if you don't want that, if you want to turn it on and off with the rotary on-off knob, you can take this dip switch, flip it down. So now you'll see when I turn my knob here on and off, the backlighting for the text here is turning on and off.